Hey, 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 how are you all doing? Can you hear me? Just put yes in the chat. If you can hear me, what's up? What's up? What's up? How are you all doing? What's going on? Let me know in the chat if you all can hear me. If everything is all good on your side. Cool beans. Cool beans. Nice, nice, nice. So happy to have you all here. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button on this video and subscribe to us here on YouTube if you're not already. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about Clarity 101, how to get clear on your business goals. So I'm very excited to talk about today's topic, mainly because I know that I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs who are sometimes not clear, right? And so let me know in the chat if you could benefit from just getting some clarity. Like, man, if I could just get some clarity in my business, that would really change the game for me, right? Just put a one in the chat if that's you. Now, I do want to take a moment to introduce myself for those who may or may not know who I am. And then we're going to get right into the content, right? And so my name is Audria Richmond. I am a marketing and launch strategist. I work directly with my clients to teach them how to build uncloned brands and launch profitable marketing campaigns. I'm a serial entrepreneur with over 15 years of business branding and marketing experience. We run a multi seven-figure company with an A+ team. I'm an executive coach and consultant to high performing entrepreneurs, and I'm a 5-time Amazon bestselling author of multiple books, to include my most recent book, UnCloned Marketing. I'm also the CEO and CMO of UnCloned Media, and I'm a recipient of 6 awards in branding, marketing, and entrepreneurship. So it's safe to say that you are in the right place. All right. So before we get into the next slide here, I want to take a moment to kind of give you a backstory real quick. So give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So um, over this past weekend, I spent some time going back to look at my vivid vision. And if you're familiar with our brand in any capacity, that's one of the things that we're always telling people is like, hey, write your vivid vision, write your vivid vision, and if you're not familiar with vivid vision, it's a guy named Cameron Harrell. He's like this really cool executive coach that works primarily with COOs to teach them how to be better right hands to the CEO. But anyway, he wrote a book called Vivid Vision, and the Vivid Vision is a vision that leads you and your team. And if you're like, I don't have a team, it still should be a tool that you use to guide yourself. So even if you're not clear, even if you're like, okay, how does this supposed to apply to me? Just know that the Vivid Vision is not just for people with Fortune 500 companies and like all the things, right? Because it's easy to believe that like, oh, I'm a small business. This thing don't really, apply to me because I'm a small business. And that is further from the truth, right? And I'm going to tell you why. The reason that you need this vision, okay? We're going to go over some other things that you need to be clear about. But the reason I want to spend a little bit more time on vision is because I meet a lot of CEOs who don't even know what the hell they want in the next 3 to 5 years, right? You just don't know what you want. And when I ask you, like, hey, so what's the goal? What are you focused on? If your answer is, I don't know, we have a problem. And I'm going to tell you why we have a problem. Even if you work with some people on Fiverr, Upwork, independent contractors, even if you got a VA, an assistant, or a business coach, whoever you're working with, you are the CEO of your company. And as the CEO of your company, it is your job, it is your duty to be crystal clear on where you're taking your company. And if you're still looking at your business as this thing that just, you know, gushes out cash, that's more, your business is bigger than that. Your business is meant to have impact. Your business is meant to help people change their lives. Your business is meant to be a generational wealth vehicle for you and your family. So it's more than just this thing that I'm going to put out in the world and make some money from. And the reason that I'm having this conversation is because over the past weekend, I had to get crystal clear about my vivid vision. I had a vivid vision, but I feel like over the past 2 years, maybe even 3 years, I allowed myself to get into other communities and get distracted. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever experienced that, where you was like, you know what? I think I know what I want to do. I think I have some clarity. And then as soon as you join a group, anything, it doesn't matter. You could be at an event. You could have joined a group coaching program. You could have joined a membership community. It doesn't matter what you joined. Hell, you could have been on Instagram and you got completely distracted from what your initial goal is, right? Just put a 2 in the chat if that's been you, where you've just completely forgot why the hell you even got back into this. And so one of the things that I want you to ask yourself, and this is something that you're going to have to, one, unplug from social media. Number two, you're going to have to find a way to not be distracted. And number three, you got to have some confidence, and you got to believe in yourself, right? You got to have some confidence and you have to believe in yourself. And so the reason why this is so important, okay? I can't stress this enough. The reason why this is so important, because this becomes what you do every day. If you're wondering like, okay, why is Audria live? Because it's on my schedule. Because I made a conscious effort that I'm going to go live on YouTube every Wednesday. That's a part of my plan. I said on every Monday, I'm going to send out an audio newsletter. We sent out an audio newsletter this past Monday. Guess what else we're working on? We're working on 6 automated masterclass funnels. Why? Because it's a part of my plan. And so if you're getting up every day on social media and you're like, I don't know what to post, I don't know what to talk about, I don't know why people should be checking for me, I don't know what I'm selling today, you are not clear. And I'm saying that so you can realize what the problem is. It's not that you don't have the skills. It's not that you don't have the sauce. It's not that people don't want to work with you. It's the mere fact that when you get up every single day, you don't even know what you're supposed to be focused on. And so you get distracted on social media and you start kicking with people on the internet, and you have got completely distracted from what your goal is. I want everybody to take out a pen and paper if you are in a place to do so. And if not, you could come back to this video later on today. And I really want you to do this exercise. I want you to get clear. I want you to get crystal clear. Am I clear on how I want to show up in the world? Am I clear on what my goals are? Am I clear on how I want to make money? Because if you're not clear on that, every day you're going to wake up and you're not going to know what to do, what to post, what to create, what you should be sharing on reels, what you should be going live about, what you should be talking about. You got to get clear on that. And let me also say this. I want you all to go back to the day the day you decided you wanted to have a business. Okay. I want you to go back to the time when you decided that you wanted to have a business. And when you decided that you wanted to have a business, I want you to get clear around what was that thing that lit you up about the business. And if you've been in business like a long time, like me, right? Or even if you've been in business for a very short time, or even if you just starting your business, what's the thing that's lighting you up? What's the thing that's getting you like excited and motivated to be like, I'm all in on this? And you want to know what it was for me? When I first got started online, right? My biggest goal was leverage. Okay. That was my only goal. I wanted to multiply myself. I wanted to multiply myself with assets, digital and physical assets, right? And I feel like I've created a level of leverage, but I've also gotten distracted along the way, right? Because a portion of our business is coaching. And even though I'm coaching and I admire and love my clients, That's not something that I had sought after to do when I first came online. My goal was to create courses, to write books, to publish, and to create media, movies, documentaries, those types of things, right? And so I allowed myself to get caught up in the online marketing world, in the online marketing space. And as and as a result, I got distracted. I got distracted. So anybody who's listening to me right now, because we live right now, if you're listening to me right now, how many of you all can like really go back and say, you know what? I know I'm not even doing what I said I wanted to do. I said I want to write a book. I ain't wrote that book yet. I don't even know what the hell my book title is yet. I said I wanted to create a course. I haven't even created the course yet. I haven't even found me someone who can actually help me create the course. I said I wanted to create a membership site because I wanted to get recurring revenue. I haven't even started to do that. Oh, I said I wanted to be a speaker. I don't even know what I'm going to be talking about. I don't even know where I want to speak at. I don't even know what I want to charge for speaking. Oh, I said I wanted to, be the CEO of an enterprise. I don't even have an employee. Does this make sense what I'm saying, everybody? Just put a 2 in the chat if this is making sense to you. Because if you don't get back to the root of why you got started and be honest with yourself, you're going to constantly be looping in a circle trying to figure this thing out. And I just want to press upon you that you not being clear does not help anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help your business coach. It doesn't help the consultants and the advisors that work directly with you. It doesn't help your vendors. It doesn't help your VAs. It doesn't help anybody who's supposed to be at the hip with you, helping you grow your business. Okay? Like it's so important. Okay, so now we're going to get into, I want to talk about the 2 books, the top books that you need for clarity, right? So the top books that you need for clarity is Vivid Vision and Traction. These are the number 2 books that I recommend to all of my clients. Okay? Like I absolutely love telling my clients to get these books. But let me tell you something. And I'm just going to be honest. Can I be honest? If I can be honest, put a 5 in the chat. Because if I can't be honest, then I'll keep it going. I'll keep it moving. But if I can be honest, can y'all put a 5 in the chat? Because I want to be like 3,000 with y'all right now. I meet so many CEOs that when I ask them to write their vivid vision, they be playing with it. Every time. I be like, hey, did you write your vivid vision? Oh yeah, I'm working on it. I'm still trying to decide on if I want to do it or not. I don't really know, right? Let me tell you, okay? Quit playing. I'm just gonna keep it as simple as that. Quit playing. Like if you're not gonna be serious about business, just quit playing. Like I'd rather you go get a job and work a 9 to 5 and do whatever you're gonna do best and like have vacations, 2-3 times a year and spend time with your family. But the moment that you make a decision that I want to be a CEO, I want to own a company, you got to be clear as the leader where we heading. If I was to pull any one of you all on this live stream and say, hey, where are we heading in the next 3 to 5 years? How many of you all would be able to confidently with such details that like with visual details down to the timelines, down to product names, you would be able to tell me that with confidence? Put a 10 in the chat if that's you. And if that's not you, I really want to stress upon you how it should be you. So these are the top books that I recommend if you want to get clarity: Vivid Vision and Traction. Okay. Really quick, if you're new to the live stream and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. It means a lot to us. Also, we're so close to our 3,000 watch hours. So if you haven't had a chance to watch other videos on our channel, make sure you do that because that helps us get closer and closer to our goal. At the time of today's live stream, we're at 2,299 watch hours. That essentially means that you all, when we get to 3,000 watch hours, that's when we can hit a milestones where we can get super chats and monetize a portion of our YouTube channel. So if you've been vibing with our content, if you've been enjoying our videos, and if you like this video, I want you to go back, okay, and watch other videos on the channel, because we got way more great videos beyond just today's video. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'm so close, right? I'm super excited about that. I'm so close. All right. Okay. So I want to go over some other things that I want you to consider. And so here are some other things I want you to consider. Also, we are going to open it up for Q&A. And if we get to the end of the live stream and you don't have any questions, we will end the live stream. But I do want to let you know right now that you should go ahead and get your questions together and start putting them in the chat so I can answer them during the Q&A portion of today's live stream. Okay? So if you have any questions, start thinking through what those questions are, and I will stick around and answer a few questions, and then we will conclude with today's live stream. So let's continue. So other things that you want to consider. Number one, your lifestyle. I noticed, and I'm not talking about the lifestyle on, I'm not talking about Instagram lifestyle. So when I say lifestyle, I'm not talking about Instagram lifestyle. I'm not talking about the Bentley you want. I'm not talking about the cosmetic surgery you might be eyeing. I'm not talking about that kind of lifestyle. What I'm talking about is when you wake up every single day of your life, how do you want to live your life? When you think about your ideal work week, what does that look like? Does that look like, I actually want to, I want to get up every day and I want to work in my business 2 hours a day. Great. What are you doing during those 2 hours? Or are you waking up and saying, you know what? I don't want to work every day. I actually want a CEO to run my company, and I want to check in with my company once a week. I want to hire me a CEO who understands the vision, who can carry out the vision, blah, blah, blah. Right? That's that lifestyle piece. The other thing you want to think about too is, okay, I have the lifestyle in mind, but then I want you to start thinking about, how you want to start thinking about, like, how often do you want to go on vacation? How long do you want to be away from vacation, right? Like I told myself a long time ago, I don't want 3-day vacations. I want to be gone for like a week, 2 weeks at best. I don't want to be like, by the time you get to the place, it's time to turn back around. So I've already came up with some lifestyle things for me. Number one, right? I only want to work really hard 1 week out the month. And we've already accomplished that by introducing Coach Week, right? That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But nevertheless, I want to work really, really, really hard in my business for my clients 1 week out of the entire month. We are successfully doing that. That's what, and I want, in the other 3 weeks, I want to be able to launch. I want to be able to network if I want to. I want to be able to vacation every month. We got 3 free weeks because of this strategy. And this is something that we incorporated May of last year. I also want to be able to, when I travel, I want to have 5 and 7 day vacations, maybe 2 weeks, right? When I travel, I want to fly first class. If I'm asked to speak, I'm coming first class. If I'm coming to speak, 2 tickets have to be paid for. Like, does this make sense what I'm saying, everybody? If you're getting this, put a 3 in the chat. I want to make sure y'all here with me. Y'all engagement keeps me inspired. So let me know if you are understanding what I mean when I say lifestyle. How many vacations do you want? Do you want to have a vacation for every child in your family and every birthday that comes up? Do you want to be able to go somewhere for the month of your anniversary or your birthday month? Like, is this getting clear, right? Because when you get clear on your lifestyle, and the reason why it's number 1 on the list, when you get clear on your lifestyle, it helps you get clear on what type of business you're running, that you're creating. Okay. The second thing you want to think about is revenue. Okay. Revenue. Some of you all have really, really big money goals, right? Let me know in the chat. If you are striving to make $10,000 a month, put a 1 in the chat. If you're striving to make $25,000 a month, put a 2 in the chat. If you are looking to make $50,000 a month, put a 3 in the chat. If you're looking to make, I think I said $50,000, put a 3 in the chat. If you're trying to make $100,000, put a 4 in the chat. And if you want to make, over $1 million in the month, put a 5 in the chat. You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all looking for. What y'all looking towards, right? Because right now, our goal right now is to get our company to $100,000 recurring revenue. And that's like on the low end. That's on the low end. How can we grow our company to $100 million? I mean, well, that's two. The goal is 100 million, but for now, how do we get our company to $100,000 a month recurring revenue? Did y'all catch that? That doesn't mean that we won't have one-time sales like book sales and so on and so forth. But what I'm saying is, like, I want to know, like, okay, I want us to get to $100,000 recurring revenue. Okay, recurring revenue. That's big difference, y'all. And so I want you to be clear around what type of revenue you want to make. And let me say this too. It's easy to go for a low amount when you're climbing to the number you want. Put it out there, y'all. Put the big number out there. Because if you start with a little number, you're gonna make little moves. Did you catch that? If you start with a little number, you're gonna start with little moves. If you start with a big number, you're going to start with big moves. You're going to have big vision. You're going to have big goals. You're going to make big moves. So get crystal clear around your revenue. Okay? Capacity and bandwidth. I wish I had more time to spend on this one, but this one is huge. And especially if you are a service provider. If you are a service provider, in the way you make your money is by exchanging your time, energy, or effort in exchange for revenue, then it is very important to know that your capacity and bandwidth is really the determining factor of how much you can scale your business, right? So listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying by this when I say capacity and bandwidth. Essentially, what I'm saying is you're going to get to a point where you're going to max out your business. I pray that happens for you. For me in 2020, that's what happened. And what broke my business was having too much one-on-one. Oh, I hope y'all heard that. Okay. In 2020, my business literally reached capacity because the one culprit of my business at that time in 2020 was I was selling way too much one-on-one. All of my programs had too much one-on-one. The first thing we removed instantly was one-on-one. We removed one-on-one from our mastermind and we limited to one VIP day and one call annually. We got rid of we turned the VIP days into an actual product. So the systems that we sell, like our offer systems, our launch systems, our content systems, our opportunity hour systems, people were coming to us for VIP days. And we were charging anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 at that time. And I literally did not have enough calendar space to even put on more VIP days. So imagine being able to charge $5,000 to $10,000 for your time and you not having nowhere on your calendar to do those calls. Did y'all catch what I'm saying? So the first thing we needed to fix, the first thing we needed to eliminate was so much one-on-one. Because we can't scale a company, at least that's what I learned at the end of 2020. I was like, man, I am burnt out. I'm doing all these one-on-ones for my mastermind clients. Because I think at the time, they were getting like a bunch of one-on-one calls. And they had one-on-one Voxer access. And they had group Voxer. And they had a Facebook group. It was just team too much. So, I was just going one-on-one overkill. And then on the VIP day side, I didn't even have enough Saturdays in the years, y'all. Because I was typically doing these VIP days on Saturday. So I didn't even have enough calendar space to do more VIP days. So when I say capacity and bandwidth, you need to look at everything you sell and ask yourself, is there something that will keep this from being unlimited? Like, we can enroll as many people as we want to inside the UnCloned Launch Circle, right? We can enroll as many people as we want to inside of our courses. We can have unlimited people buy Publishing Like a Pro. We can have unlimited people buy our UnCloned offer system. We can have unlimited people, like I said, enroll into the UnCloned Launch Circle. So you have to start to look at your product suite and ask yourself, what's the max amount of people I can do? So for an example, if you are a hairstylist, you have to ask yourself, how many people can I take in a day, realistically, without killing myself, right? And so you got to be clear around what is the max we can do. And if we max out our business at what we are charging, what's the most we're going to be able to do? And so this is a huge point that I hope and pray that you all just don't like move over and glaze over. I really want y'all to understand the importance of this. All right. Okay. The next one, your product suite. Again, I wish I had more time to talk about this, but your product suite plays a huge role in how you're going to run your business. It plays a huge role in how you're going to run your business. So, we have inside of our product suite, we have our flagship products. So think about flagship products like, with Apple, they have the iPhone, the iPad, the iMac, so on and so forth, right? But then they have other products that you can buy like headphones and stuff like that. But their flagship products is the iPhone, the iMac, the iPad, so on and so forth. So for us, we have several products in our product suite that are flagship products. So a good example of our flagship products where we have a few signature courses. So the UnCloned Offer System, the UnCloned Launch System, the Content System, the Opportunity Hour System, Publishing Like a Pro, the UnCloned Mastermind, UnCloned Launch Circle, and the UnCloned Certification. Those are our flagship products, meaning these are the products that we're constantly putting in our promo calendar and our promotional calendar that we focus on to grow our business. Okay. If this makes sense, y'all, just put a 3 in the chat. I want to make sure y'all following along and that I'm not talking over your head. Also, if you have any questions, now is the time to start putting them in the chat. So when we get to the conclusion of this live stream, I can answer any of your questions. Please do not wait till the last minute to put your questions in the chat, because as we're live streaming, I'm slightly delayed. So if you take too long, then I could be looking at the live and say, oh, they don't have any questions, and leave when you really indeed have some questions. So if you have some questions, now is the time to start putting them in the chat. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, because that's the only place we're currently streaming, make sure you smash the like button on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, right? Okay, so your product suite, right? So those are our flagship products, but then we have other products that we sell. Like our book bundle could be our flagship product because we lead with that. We know that everybody who read our books end up becoming like our premium clients. So that too could fall into the, our flagship products. But then we have products that we sell, like the 2024 annual planning workshop. I wouldn't necessarily consider that a flagship product. That's just a promo that we do every year. Sometimes we do Black Friday trainings, so on and so forth, right? I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but when you think about your product suite, that determines your promo calendar. That determines how many people you need. That determines like a whole bunch of stuff, right? So you want to think about that. The next thing you want to think about is how you want to manage people. Ooh, this one was hard for me, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. And I ain't even gonna lie. This one took me out. Okay, this one took me out. So what I mean by that is I didn't realize that I don't like managing people. I didn't know that. Okay. My first attempt at hiring, I thought I was just like this bad boss and this, that, and the third. But I realized that I do not like managing a bunch of people at all. I don't like it. I don't even like it a little. Like I don't like it at all. And so what I'm currently working on is thinking about a management team where they can manage our team. I do not like managing people. And let me also say this. I don't like managing a team where there's a lot of like hand holding involved, right? Like I love hiring experts for that reason. I don't have time to sit back and, upskill you and train you and all of those things. That's not a good use of my time. However, if we had a management team or something like that, they can support me with that. But this is very, very important to know, like, okay, how do I want to manage people? Because if you build out a huge business where managing people is a huge part of the business, it got to go back to that lifestyle part. You got to go back to that capacity. Do I have it in me to manage people? Do I love managing people? Right? And this is actually new to the list because I think a lot of the times when we're scaling our business and when we get to the phase where we actually got to hire people, we don't realize that that's not our strong suit. We just want to run the business. So anyway, you want to think about how you want to manage people. The next one you want to think about is how you like to market. Okay. How do you like to market? The reason I'm saying this is because if you're like, oh my God, I hate social media. Social media make my eyeballs curl. Okay, cool, baby girl. But do you have another way to sell your products and services? Like, are you going to be doing one-on-one calls? Are you going to be networking? Are you going to be attending events? Are you going to be pitching yourself for speaking? Like, how do you actually like to market? Because if you're anti-social media, you still got to find a vehicle for marketing your products and services. And so the last thing to consider is how you like to sell. Do you like to sell one-on-one, or do you like to sell one to many? How do you actually prefer to sell your products and services? These are all things that you need to be crystal clear about as you get clarity for your business. So just a recap, okay, really quick recap: lifestyle, revenue, capacity and bandwidth, product suite, how you want to manage people, how you like to market, and how you like to sell. All right. So we're going to head over into Q&A. So if you have any questions, now is a good time to drop those questions in the comments. Also, if you are enjoying today's live stream, let me know your biggest takeaway in the chat. Please, please, please smash the like button on this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please come back to watch other videos that we have on our channel so we can get our watch hours to 3,000 hours. I do want to say thank you for coming to today's live stream and participating in all of those good things. So I see that we have a few questions, so I'm going to take a moment to answer those questions, and then we're going to end the live stream. All right. So let's get into it. The first question we have is, how do you figure out what the cause of reaching business capacity was? What in the process utilized to make this discovery? So, like I was saying in my story, like I didn't have no more time on my calendar. So at the time, I didn't know what my capacity was. You know what I mean? Like, when you aren't over marketing in your business, when you're not overselling, when you're not like out here grinding, you have no idea what your capacity is because you never reached it. But you do need to be realistic and look at your calendar and be like, okay, how many people can I realistically work with based on whatever it is that you sell? So if you are a consultant, how many consulting clients can you work with? If you're a graphic designer, how many design projects can you take on? If you're a hairstylist, how many clients can you take on in a week? This is another good determining factor too for capacity and bandwidth. If you got sick and you needed to reschedule all of your work, how would it affect your work week? That's such a great question to think through, because I remember one time, especially in 2020 when we had all of those one-on-ones, I needed to take a break from my calendar, and it was a rescheduling hell because I was just booked out to the max. So imagine not having time on your calendar already, having to cancel for the day, and then it becomes a shit show to reschedule everybody because you reach your capacity. So that's what I mean by, like, you'll know your capacity if you sit down and think through, okay, what do I sell and what's the max amount of people can I serve with this? That's if you're a service provider. If you are selling physical products, your capacity looks a little bit different. You know, if somebody was to come to your site today, let's say you sell t-shirts, and if somebody was to come to your site today and they say, hey, I want to buy 100,000 t-shirts, can you print 100,000 t-shirts? Do you have enough inventory? If you sell books, for an example, and you're not sending people to Amazon, if you was to sell 1,000 copies of your book today, let's say a conference was like, hey, I heard your book was amazing, I want to buy 1,000 copies of your book. Do you have the capacity to ship out 1,000 books and get it to them by this weekend, as an example? So is that helpful, everybody, what I'm saying on like how you can really get clear around what that capacity look like? Hopefully that answered your question. Okay, next question. How do you make your transition from full-time work to entrepreneurship? That's a great question. The first thing I did when I was transitioning from work to what I'm currently doing now was I wanted to make sure that I made enough bill money. I know that sounds lame, but like, my first order of business was making sure that I could take care of my living expenses. So when I was transitioning into entrepreneurship, as long as I could make, as long as I can make what I had, I was good to go, right? As long as I could make what I had. So I was really excited about that. Hey, y'all, my lights are flickering right now. It may not affect you all, but I'm gonna have to hurry up and answer these questions because I don't know if it's gonna kill my live stream. So I just want to give you a heads up in case my live stream go out. I don't know what the hell going on. All right. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that I made enough money to pay my bills first. Like I wasn't even thinking about making a bunch of money. I was just like, can I just replace my current income so I don't have to work? So that was my first order of business on how I transitioned. And the truth of the matter is I quit my job with no money saved. So I didn't even have any reserves. As long as I had enough money to pay for my living expenses, and that meant contractual clients that could help me pay my bills. That's all I needed before I decided to be like, all right, I'm quitting this job with no money saved. And again, that's probably horrible advice, but I'm just telling you how it went down for me. If you were starting all over again, what would you do differently in your membership? Asking because I'm starting a membership. That's a great question. Um, if I was starting my membership all over again, I would have qualified people better. I would have qualified people better. And I would have charged more sooner. Those were the two things I would do. Now, I still don't recommend, I still like the idea of a stair step pricing for a membership site. However, um because of what I'm teaching in my membership, I should have qualified a little bit better, because even though I told people like launching is hard, it's not for the faint of heart, blah blah blah, people still underestimated the work that was required. And I really feel like there should have, like, I really think that especially newer entrepreneurs, they really don't understand how hard it is to actually grow a business. I know people on the internet make it look super easy and like super amazing, but y'all, it's hella hard to grow a damn business. I'm just being 100 with you, right? So if I had to start my membership site over, I would really stress upon people the importance of what it takes to launch and how many moving parts it is. And then I would have charged more at the start. But if in your case, because I know what your membership is about, I wouldn't outprice people till I saw that the demand was there. Hopefully they answered your question. Okay, next question. How do you suggest we break down our annual revenue goals to achieve the most success? Should we strive for um daily amount, or adjust our activities accordingly? Let me read that again. How do you suggest we break down our annual revenue goals to achieve the most success? Should we strive for daily dollar amounts and assist our activities accordingly? So your revenue goals are going to be directly tied to your product suite and how many units of that you need to sell. Okay? So let me give you an example. I said, hey, I want us to make $100,000 in recurring revenue. We currently don't have enough members for that to even make sense, but there are some ways that we can get there, right? So, for instance, if I just focused on my mastermind at the time of today's live stream, to be a part of our UnCloned Mastermind is $2,500 a month, right? So it's $2,500 a month. And if my goal was $100,000, I could take $100,000, divide that by 2,500. I only need 40 clients to get to my $100,000 in recurring revenue. Does that make sense, D Smith? And then also, um, another way to kind of look at it too is, um, if I was selling like, digital products or something and I was trying to get to a certain goal, you can sell so many units. So the way I just did the math is based on my business goal. I want us to make $100,000 recurring revenue. So all of my marketing efforts, all of our marketing campaigns will be to drive 40 people into the mastermind. And then obviously once we hit that goal, we could move on to something else. But, and let me also say this, as you add more products to your product suite, it actually your marketing gets more complex. Okay. Everybody put a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. So if you have a lot of products, you have to have a really strong marketing system in order to move people into that. That's why you see a lot of people say you need to niche, you need to have one offer. We have multiple offers, but we know how to move people into multiple programs at the same time because we understand marketing. But if I was just starting out and I didn't know how to market, I didn't know how to sell, I would try to get really good at selling one offer before I start trying to have 4, 5, 10 different products. Hopefully that makes sense. And just to give you context, I've worked on my current product suite over the last 4 years. So over the last 4 years, we've created the current product suites that we have right now, right? Like Publishing Like a Pro was created a few years ago. All of our uncloned marketing systems were created in 2022. My last book was written in 2020. Our certification program came out this year in 2024. We launched the UnCloned Mastermind in 2019, but we officially started working with our clients in 2020 that joined the mastermind. So our current product suite has been developed over the past couple of years. Let me take a sip of water. Also, if you have any questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we will end the live stream here in a moment. Give me 1 second. I need to take a sip of water. Okay, so hopefully that'll give you a timeline. So my last book, so the UnCloned Mastermind, we pitched it in 2019. We started servicing people that was in the first year of the mastermind in 2020. UnCloned Marketing book came out in 2020 as well. We started pre-ordering the UnCloned Marketing systems late 2021. In 2022, that's when people start receiving their planners, the systems, the courses, all of those things. In 2023, we end up, I think we also launched Publishing Like a Pro. I want to say in 2022 or one. I can't think right now. And then 2023, we was working on the certification program, and we revitalized the map. We changed up the mastermind and how we were selling it. And in 2023, we launched the UnCloned Launch Circle. No, in 2022, we launched the UnCloned Launch Circle. So all of these products that we have, they were developed over years. They're just all done now, right? So the Launch Circle is done. Publishing Like a Pro is done. All of those courses I just mentioned are done. My book is published. So your product suite will be developed over time. Don't feel like you need to create your entire product suite today at 5, right? So hopefully that gave you some clarity. All right. So let me see what else questions we have. Let's see. Okay, I answered that question. When you schedule a business activity, how do you stay motivated to do what you plan to do? This goes back to leadership. You have to do what you say you're going to do. And if you can't stay committed to it, then you have to ask yourself, do you even want the goal? I know that's a little tough, but I'm just being like super honest. If you're not consistent with your goal, it's probably because it's not attached to something you actually truly for real care about. Because let me tell you, I know fear comes up. I know doubt comes up. I know uncertainty comes up. But the truth of the matter is, do you want it or you don't? It's really that simple. I know we can go in and add all of this extra stuff to kind of justify why we aren't doing it. We can be like, man, my life is life and this is going on, this is going on. But at the end of the day, how motivated and inspired are you from your own goals? Because if you aren't motivated, you're not going to show up. If you don't care about the goal, you're not going to show up. If you're not dedicated, you're not going to show up. If you're not committed, you're not going to show up. So you have to ask yourself, I think a better way of thinking about that is, how do I make this a goal that I always show up for? How do I make this a goal that I'm motivated and inspired to do? That's what you have to ask yourself. So if you are not consistent with your goal, then 9 times out of 10, you don't want to do it. And if you do want to do it, then you don't have to ask me, why, how can I be consistent with it? I hope that makes sense. Okay. Cool beans. You have faced everything and rise instead of forget everything and run. Yep, you have to face everything and rise instead of forget everything and run. Yep, absolutely, 100%. Yes, absolutely. So, hopefully, y'all enjoyed today's live stream. This one was lit. I think it was really good. This is one of those live streams that you can come back to and listen to over and over and over. You can share this live stream out when you all get a chance. I would truly appreciate it. And I appreciate you all for showing up to today's live stream and getting tapped in. Really quick, if you haven't already grabbed our UnCloned book bundle, you can head over to unclonedbb.com. That's uncloned, 2-letter B's, B as in boy, unclonedbb.com, and grab our UnCloned book bundle if you don't already have our books. And if you're interested in joining us inside the UnCloned Launch Circle, it is currently closed. However, we can send you a backlink so you can learn more about the UnCloned Launch Circle. We currently have a starter version of the UnCloned Launch Circles. We have two versions of the Launch Circle. Starter is $247 a month and Pro is $497 a month. If you want to learn more about UnCloned Launch Circle and what's included and how you can become a member, you can text 404-965-4113. I will put that in the chat so y'all can get the number. But the number is 404-965-4113. Okay. That's the number. I want to make sure. Okay. So y'all can text that number. If you have any questions, if you want to learn about joining us inside the Launch Circle, if you have any questions, you can send a text message to 404-965-4113. So thank you all so much for tuning in to this live stream. I appreciate you all. Make sure you come back and listen to some of our other videos that we have here on the channel. And until next time, y'all, let's go live an uncloned life and build an uncloned brand. Bye, y'all.